Thank you very much. It is indeed a privilege and a pleasure to be here with you tonight. My name is William Bud McElroy. As you can see by the life-size poster I put back there that my son did last night at 1 a.m., which I stayed up and watched him do it, so that was pretty impressive of him. He went to Southwestern, which I'm running for, seat number 3. Let me tell you a little bit about me, and like it says up on there. I grew up in this neighborhood. I'm 52 years old, and I grew up right here behind me, right up on the mesa. I've been to school here, all around here. I actually attended some courses out at Southwestern College. I joined the military. I served, and I'm still serving in the reserves today. I'm a full-time fireman. That's my full-time job for the past 23 years. I've had a great career. Was put in for Firefighter of the Year, have earned several different awards in what I do. But I want you to know even more about me, what inspires me to do things. I want you to know about my family. I'm endorsed by one person who means something to me. That would be my wife. Because when you get your wife's endorsement, that means a lot. For 26 years we've been married, and she's fantastic, and she's endorsed me. I'm not endorsed by a union, I'm not endorsed by builders, I'm not endorsed by these people. I'm doing this on my own. It comes out of my pocket. That's trying within itself. Because I care. My in-laws lost everything. They moved in with me. I made it mandatory that they move in with me because I care. We set the example for everybody else. My example was, you come stay with family because family takes care of family. So they live with me. Except my father-in-law passed away of cancer. My mother-in-law still lives with me. You see, in the reserves, as it says up there, I'm what they call the commandant of a school. Commandant is very similar to a superintendent of a school. It's a military school. Matter of fact, it's the only one here on the West Coast. It's one of the most highly classified schools and level of education in military schools you can attend. And that's what I do. I run that school. When I got sent over to Iraq in 2003, I got wounded. I came back. I'd already been a teacher for the school system in the military. But when I came back, I taught again. I taught at the Special Warfare Center back in North Carolina. Once I got released and got put back on reserve status, they brought me back to California, and they said, McElroy, we want you to run this school. And I said, if that's what you want out of me, I'll do it, and I'll do it to the best of my ability. So I did. Since I took over that school, the grade point average has increased. It's never faltered, it's increased. Since I took over that class, since I took over that school with all those classes, with all those instructors and teachers and everything, we've never had a failure. Since I've taken over that, we've taken the cost of doing business and we've shrunk it. Because I'm able to think out of the box. You see, if you want the same thing that's been going on at these schools, you elect those same people in there. And you'll get the same results. And you can sit at home and you can argue with the mirror and say, why hasn't anything changed? Well, I'll let you know. When I make a commitment, I change things. I take things very personally, myself. Every student I have that attends my school will be deployed to a combat zone within a year. If I fail, they could die. I refuse to fail. I refuse to have anybody's blood on my shoulders. I refuse to have the kids at Southwestern College who put me in that position. I refuse to have them fail. I refuse to let them suffer because I believe in them, because I was one of them. You see, people want to know, what's your experience? And I tell them, I have 8 years of leadership in the school system where I've overcome all these things. I've succeeded. Can my opponent say the same thing? Can anybody say the same thing that's running? That they've succeeded? I hope you really pay attention to who's running for offices these days. I don't care if it's a school system here, I don't care if it's your mayor or whatever. Pay attention. Don't go with the flow, but understand who they are. You see, when I was over in Iraq, I also helped with the reorganization of 7 different universities in the city of Baghdad. I knew all the superintendents and all the deans of all the universities and colleges there. I said, don't call me Sergeant anything or McElroy. I said, call me Bud. I'm going to be your best friend. I went in there. I helped them rebuild their schools. They looked at me and they said, can you actually come and lecture in our lecture halls and talk to kids about the freedoms that you have, about democracy, because we've never experienced it. So there I sat in lecture halls, over 110 degrees inside that room, with students there anxiously awaiting what I had to say. And we helped reestablish what they had to do to succeed, because that was the future of a country. We have the future here that attend our schools, and I take personal ownership. I cannot let them fail, so therefore I must succeed. Like I said, I'm a fireman too. I believe in serving the people of my community with my heart. You see, in 1993, I lost my leg in a car accident. I became the first professional one-legged firefighter in the United States. I also became the first amputee to serve in the Iraq War. And the reason this is because I honestly will not give up, because I see the need for certain things to happen, for me to take care of my family. And I see the need right now for me to go over to Southwestern College to do the right thing. You see, a couple years ago when I ran, I had this very impressive person, after the debates were over, came up to me. And he said, Bud, you did a great job. But unfortunately, we didn't endorse you. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
That's right. I'm glad he said I did a good job. And we've been friends ever since. And he's a great man. But he said that. He says, you probably swayed some of my teachers to vote for you, because he was the president of the union back then. He says, but unfortunately, we've endorsed the other guy, and we're sticking with him, and he'll win because we're able to financially bankroll him into giving him what he needs. The money that I spend on my campaign comes out of my pocket, and I don't have much, because I do take care of my family. So when you see a sign, know that that was something I had to sacrifice just to put that sign out there so you could see it, so you could understand who I am and what I run for. I want Southwestern to succeed. A while back, they said 2 years ago, we have an excess amount of money. And I said, don't spend it because we're coming into hard times. Guess what? We came into harder times and no one listened. I will tell you this right now. It could get worse. I hope people listen this time. Don't spend money you don't have. Reorganize things so you're able to keep the greatness that you have, but not go in debt. Because the last thing I need those students to know is that it's okay to go in debt, because it's not. And if the school does it, they figure, well, if the school can do it, maybe so can I. Because we learn from our elders. Thank you for showing up, because you are impressive. Because you took your time to show up here tonight. I honor you by running for this office for Southwestern College, Seat 3. And my name is Bud McElroy.